Hey guys, it's Ryan and Haley. Welcome back in. Today we are tackling 3 things for you to stop doing immediately.
Immediately.
If not sooner.
What a word. Immediately. That's like one of those power words.
Well, and I was like reading through something or listening to something that really got my attention. It's like, don't tell me what not to do. You know, it's like the maverick in me automatically. So of course I listened, right? And it was really good. It was really good. And it's very helpful. So the first thing for us to stop doing is because, and I wanted to touch on real quick, as important as a to-do list, and Jim Collins talks about this in Good to Great, is a stop doing list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it can move the needle just as much as, you know, get a work at it, make these calls, do this prospecting, meet with the team, all the things we want to do. But what are the things that we ought to stop doing? Like obsess about the future, talk at the water cooler for 15 minutes, scroll on social media when it's not productive. There's some stop doing things, and I really, really subscribe to that because it just gives you space to do the things that you should be doing, and if not, then just to get back into yourself, do some self-care, spend quality time with family, friends, etc. I mean, they're paying us to be here, so it's meaning that we would rather probably be elsewhere. So the stop doing list gives you space for those elsewhere things. Okay.
Well, like you said, the stop doing list is just as, if not important as your to-do list, and to keep doing things, because it really highlights of like, you can get more back in your day. You can get more back in your time, in your happiness, in your life, when you realize things that you need to stop doing that don't create that fulfillment or that happiness in your life.
Yeah, and so the number one thing to start off with to stop doing is stop regretting and worrying about the past. So the past is past, and we all have things we've done and look back and just have to sigh and shake our heads at the mistakes we've made in the past. I don't care who you are, we're part of the human experience, and the human animal is flawed. Therefore, we've made mistakes along the way.
Oh yeah, I mean, I always think of it as like, and this happens to me too all the time, where I'll be out at an event or at a party or something, and I'll say something, and I'll get home and I'll be like, why did I say that? Like, oh my
Right.
God, what was I thinking? Da-da-da. Or so many people are going to like think I said something bad or whatever it may be. And chances are nobody's thinking about what I said about like me trying to be funny. Usually my jokes are terrible. So it was probably something, me trying to be funny, and like nobody laughed. And I go home and I'm like, oh my God, why did I even say that? I'm embarrassing that. Nobody is thinking that. Like nobody there. Nobody cares.
They're all stuck on their stuff. What did I say wrong?
Nobody cares.
I think the best things we can use, and I mean, you can get sincere regret, depression by looking always in the past and seeing the mistakes we've made. And I think the way to reframe it is, I have a counselor who's a friend of mine, imagine that. And when he's talking to his couples or whoever he has in therapy, he says, look, it's like a car. Like the windshield's big, but you can't look 5 miles down the road. That's going to give you anxiety. And you can't spend your whole time driving like that, looking back, or else you're going to get in a wreck.
Or looking in the rear view mirror, yeah.
So you can glance at the past and take the lesson. Just like when you look in your rearview mirror, there's data there that can tell you if you can change lanes or not. Same thing with your past. There are lessons with the things we've done. And it couldn't have happened any other way, or else it would have, right? The universe does not make mistakes, is my belief. And I think that the knowledge, the experience, and who you were at that time did the best he could, she could in that moment. So be graceful with yourself, forgive yourself, and let it go so that you can be better today. Because the more time I spend in the past, the less time I'm spending right here.
Oh my gosh. Well, and the more time you're not being present because you're thinking about like, oh, well, what if this? And I did that. And I wish I would have done this differently. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you can't. You can't. Like, I don't think anybody's discovered the time machine yet. Maybe they have, and we're just not aware of it. But we can't go into the past and change anything that's happened. Yeah. So, thankful for me, I have like short-term memory, and I'm like, what happened yesterday? I don't know.
We need to be like Phillip Rivers when he threw those interceptions. Like, he was right back out there in the next series.
Exactly. And that's what you have to do. You just got to get up and keep going, dust it off, and you can't change it anyway, so just continue moving on.
We've all had hard times. We've all made mistakes. Forgive yourself. Be your best version of yourself today. Number 2, okay, don't and stop worrying about the future, okay? So we always kind of drag ourselves into the next hour, the next day, next week, next year. Oh my gosh, what it's going to be like. How am I saving enough? Am I doing enough? Am I enough? Right? And I don't care who you are, you cannot exert any force or change anything in the future, right?
No, I mean, going back into the past gives you depression, like you said. You get regret, depression, and thinking in the future is what gives you anxiety. That's when you start to get anxious and you're like, oh my gosh, well, then I can control this and I can do this and I can try to do this. But we can't. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen. It's going to play out the way it's going to play out. And there's not much more that you can do about it.
Exactly. So if I get back in the car and I check my rearview mirrors to get information only to keep me driving this way, but if I'm constantly scanning 5 miles, 10 miles across the horizon, I'm going to miss the person crossing the street right in front of me. And I could just like miss that whole thing, missing the present moment. So yes, it's, do you make plans? Do you prepare? Do you have savings accounts? Do you have things that you do in a routine basis to make yourself, give yourself the best options and best chance for future success? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you do those things right now in the present. So stop worrying and fretting over the future. There's not a lot of things and force and changes we can make in future weeks or the future period.
No, I completely agree. I mean, the future's the future. And like I said, we don't have the time machine to go into it. So we just got to have our action plans. And if we stay in the action and do the things of what we're trying to prepare for or plan for, usually it will come out at least about in the way in our favor a little bit more than out of our favor. If we can keep those action plans for what we're trying to prep.
Yeah, and having an accountability buddy really helps too. So one hack, real quick. Okay, Ryan, great. Don't fight the future. Don't fight the past. What do? Get into your body. Again, your body exists in the present tense, and you can give yourself perspective by doing deep breathing, get a workout in, walk across the street and back, walk around the block, get into your body. Your body exists in the present tense, and that keeps your perspective here. Number 3 to stop doing. Okay, ready? Stop seeking fulfillment and happiness in external things or other people.
Woo! So stop looking at the highlight reel on social media and trying to compare yourself to like, oh, this person has all of this. I won't be happy until I get my dream car. Or I won't be happy until I get this purse or whatever it is. And we put so much emphasis on these external things that will somehow make us happy.
Well, when I have the certain number in the bank account, when I have the certain zip code, when I have the certain car, and there's always something more, and you're never fully fulfilled. But I've had moments with my children, or when we hit a goal on the team, or when I did something that happiness came from the inside. It's like, whoa, happiness is an inside job. External factors can make things really comfortable and really nice, but true fulfillment, contentment, and happiness has always come from inside.
Yeah, I mean, think about there's statistics taken from people that are smarter than us, that have read more books than us. Well, maybe not Ryan, I don't know. But there are billionaires out there that are so unhappy and the like most negative people to be around because they thought having this extreme number in their bank account and the private jets and all this would make them happy, but it really just put on this facade and a mask of who they were, and it's not who they actually want to be. And doing that can cause huge depression, huge unhappiness. You have to really, I think that's kind of the goal of life, is being truly happy with yourself and what you have. And for me, I think when I think of things that I have, that makes me happy. It's not the things I want, it's the things that I have already. The things that I have, I really am truly grateful for. And that's like what we're all trying to get to, I think. A lot of us are trying to achieve true happiness.
I mean, look, it's just stuff outside, whether it's a vacation or a car, it's stuff. So if what you tend to value and look to for happiness, you identify yourself with. So if you're identifying yourself with stuff, when the stuff goes away, what happens is your identity.
Exactly.
If you're constantly looking to meaningful relationships, things that you already possess that you're grateful for, and it's not he with the most relationships wins, it's he with the best relationships wins. So pour yourself into people, pour yourself into your tribe, pour yourself into those, and I mean, that's all internal stuff, so that happiness comes from inside. So stop worrying about the past. Your future is not there. Regret and depression can find you there. Stop worrying about the future because you can't exert much change there, and anxiety and fear will wait for you in the future. So, and then stop looking for happiness in external things. I know it's a little woo-woo stuff, but those are 3 things to stop doing right away, and you will live a fuller and more enriched life.
And these are all things we're practicing on the daily. We are not perfect at this. I know Ryan has to look at me sometimes and be like, do you really need to buy that? And I'm like, it will make me happy. And it's like, but will it?
Yeah, I mean, we're on this side and then this side, and then this side of the ledger and this side of the ledger. 51% of the time, hopefully, we stay over here.
So we are practicing this with you. We are right in it with you. We go through moments where we think of the future. We think of the past. I know we're all trying to build businesses as entrepreneurs and things. We are always thinking of the future. And sometimes we have to check ourselves and be like, hey, let's just do things right now. right now. Like,
So we're here on the journey with you. Please hit us up with any thoughts, ideas, ways we can be of service. We appreciate y'all so much. Until next time, I'm Ryan.
and I'm Haley. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
bye.